Today we're talking about 7 games that are specifically for smaller youth groups. And if you want a PDF of the game instructions, check out the description below.
Welcome to the Ministry Coach Podcast, where we bring you weekly tips and tactics to help you fast track the growth and health of your youth ministry. My name is Jeff Lascola, and this is
Kristen Lascola.
And on this show, we cover everything from youth group games to leadership. And tonight, we're covering youth group games, but specifically for those of you who have smaller youth groups, games specifically designed for you guys.
Yep, and that's what we're doing. And all of these are pretty easy to play, pretty low prep, low supply, so you could play them in a jiffy. All right, let's go to number 1, Ring of Elimination. So this game is super simple to set up. All you need is a hula hoop or a coned off area or a taped off area right in the middle. And then about 15 feet out, everyone who is playing makes a circle around that little inner circle, and you put the balls in there. So you need one less ball than there are people. So I use the ball pit balls, those little plastic play balls. That's a good investment if you are just like, hey, what are good game supplies to keep on hand? People ask us that. I like having a set of the ball pit balls. They come in very handy for different games. So let's say we have 10 people playing, you put 9 in, and then you say 3, 2, 1, go. Everyone has to run to the middle, grab a ball. And if you are the one without a ball, then you are eliminated. And then you take out a ball, you play another round, blah, 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 onward and onward. So this game, you can pretty much play it anywhere. Very low supplies, very fun. If you don't have a set of ball pit balls, just use whatever you've got. It doesn't really matter.
Ping pong balls would be good.
That'd be hard because I feel like they kind of go everywhere. It could be a mishmash of a bunch of different balls. It could be a tennis ball, a dodgeball, whatever.
It's kind of nice when you play it on grass because the kids go nuts, and when they hit each other, or like when they all kind of
collide,
pile in, it's a little bit softer.
Yeah, grass or sand. You know, if you want to play at the beach, I would play it in like a auditorium if the floor was hard. I mean, no one's gonna like hit their head or whatever. It's just
it is youth ministry,
it would
so
be
you
better.
never know.
They invent ways to get hurt. Yeah. All right, number 2, Pop It Like It's Hot. Pop It Like It's Hot. This game is super fun, and I liked doing it when I had a smaller youth group. Now that my youth group is big, I don't play it anymore because there's way too many balloons to blow up. So if you have a smaller youth group, this one's for you. Basically, you need to divide your group into at least 2 teams. I used to do it by small group, like the small group was the team, and every group gets a trash bag full of balloons that are blown up and tied, but they have a little challenge written on them and then put inside. So I would have like a list of challenges. I'd print it out, and then I'd cut them, fold them up into teeny tiny little pieces, stick them in the balloon, blow up the balloon, tie it, and put it in the bag. It's a very good idea to have the balloons be different colors per team. So if you're doing boys versus girls, you could do like all pink, like 10 pink balloons for the girls, 10 pink balloons for the boys, so that you make sure you don't mix them up.
No, 10 pink for the girls, 10 blue for the boys.
Did I not say that?
I think you said pink and pink.
Sorry, I just love pink. And so you want to make sure that they all have the exact same challenges. And it doesn't matter if the challenges are in order or not, as long as they're in. So you have all the balloons, you put them in a trash bag, and then you have the teams line up single file, and then they grab their first balloon out of the bag and they go over, under, passing it down the line, over the head, through the legs, over the head, through the legs. The last person grabs the balloon and sits on it, pop, which some people have a fear of that. So they'll have to just swap out or get over it. And then they look for the clue because it would have come out in the balloon and it'll, not the clue, the challenge.
Yeah.
And so the challenge will say something like line up in birthday order, or go get, there's
tallest to shortest. It can be so many different challenges. One of them I had to do with like take a group selfie and like write a caption that has to do with wiener dogs. I don't know. Or, hey, there's 10 sodas in the fridge. Your team has to chug them all and bring back the empty cans. They would love that. So be creative. You can do all different kinds of challenges based on your facility, based on your students, based on how many you have. And then the first team to get through all their balloons and complete all the challenges
wins. And it's really fun if you do challenges where they have to like go to a different room or a different part of the church or go get something, like not just all staying in that one room. Maybe it's a riddle they have to solve and bring it to you, or maybe you hide something at the church and you give them a clue and they have to find it. You can do whatever and change it up if you play the game, you know, a couple times a year. Make sure you change up the challenges. That's a super fun one. Number 3, you can do 2 different types of scavenger hunts. I loved doing this with my group when they were small. It was like a scavenger hunt around our town. And so, you know, you just need a couple parents to drive or a couple leaders to drive, and you give them like a designated amount of time. Like you have exactly 30 minutes. Most clues correct wins. Ready, go. And they can't open their like packet of clues until they get in the car. And so what I would do is sometime during the week prior, I would drive around our town and I would find things where like find this statue and take a picture with it. Or like I would find around Christmas time, there was like these Buddy the Elf popcorn tins and I like took a picture of it. Like, what store is this at? Find it. There was funny things in the store, funny things on the street that they had to find or count, like how many candy canes. I'm thinking Christmas because I just did a Christmas one, but how many candy canes are on Main Street?
Or how many light posts or lamp posts were there?
Where can you find a Christmas tree shaped butter thing or whatever?
And then sometimes when you do, I remember you did like the pictures you used, it wouldn't be like let's say it was go to Taco Bell and order something. Or
I used to say order the cheapest thing on the menu, and it was a side of onions for 15 cents.
But you wouldn't just put like a picture of Taco Bell. You'd put like just a corner of like
I
tea
used to do
something.
that one too. Yeah, so you like can take a picture of something in your town or area and just like zoom in, and it's like they have to figure out where that is.
But it's really zoomed in.
Really zoomed in. Yeah, but it's fun to vary up the clues. So don't do all pictures or all items to find or all things to count. Like, how many flavors of Pop-Tarts does Albertsons sell? You know, and they have to go in the aisle and count all of them. Or how many flavors of cereal does this grocery store sell? Or where can you find this? I took a picture of this like stuffed animal wiener dog that I had found at one of the stores, and they had to find it. So yeah, if you vary it, I took a picture of a really obscure sign. It was like this weird surveillance sign. No one could find it. So if you want to do like a super hard one, that is like extra points. I always like throwing in one of those, but make sure you just give clear boundaries. We live in a town that's fairly small, but if you live in a larger town, you want to say all clues can be found within this like
these
square
blocks,
mile or whatever, like between this street, and this street. So they're not just like wasting time driving everywhere. So that's a super fun thing to do with a smaller youth group. You can do it on a youth group night or for a special event. And then there's like the spontaneous scavenger hunt where it's like you get in a team or it's your small group and it's like, all right, the first group to bring me a $5 bill, like you give it back to them, obviously, or the first group to bring me a crock, or the first group to bring me a Starbucks cup. It doesn't matter if there's stuff in it or not. A first group to bring me a piece of gum. Like you just think of random things that people would have in their car, their purse, their backpack, in their pockets, or maybe know where it is in the church, and they have to like run out and get it.
But this is like you don't
Find
leave the
insect.
campus though, right?
No, so this would be one that you do at the church. Okay. I think we did that once, like go find an insect and bring it in. Yeah, just things around. So that one's a little simpler, less planning because you don't have to like do the clues and all that ahead of time. And it works well with a smaller group, and it's very low prep, free and easy and super fun.
Yep. Before we get to number 4, if you're getting value out of this episode, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and also the notification bell so you can get updates when we have a new episode. And also, if you want any of the instructions to all these games, email us at ministrycoachpodcast@gmail.com and we will send that over to you. Number 4, here we go.
All right. I'm trying to say these fast, but you know, I just want to make sure everyone understands how to play.
Yeah.
Okay. So Electricity is number 4. It's one of my favorite games. It's very easy to set up and a lot of fun. So you can play this with really, I would say,
a youth group as small as 8. Like you could do 2 teams of 4. I think that would work. So basically you have to divide them into 2 teams. I mean, I play with a much larger group and it works, but when it gets too big, the game just kind of falls apart.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a smaller-ish type of game. So you divide the group into 2 teams and they line up shoulder to shoulder facing the other team. So it's 2 lines of people facing each other, but they're very close together, shoulder to shoulder, and they're holding hands with the people on their team. So the 2 lines are probably about 3 feet apart from each other. At one end of the line, you have a leader with like a quarter or some kind of coin that they can flip. And then at the other end of the line, you have a chair with a cup of water on it. And you don't have to fill it all the way up. I only fill it up a little bit because you don't want the kids to get soaking wet at church. So basically the leader flips a coin that only the first 2 people in line can see. Everyone else should have their heads down and their eyes closed, and they're just holding the hands. It looks really creepy when they do it, when they're waiting. It looks like a cult or something. And if you don't have a coin, the leader can just hold their hands. Basically, if the leader squeezes the hands of the first 2 people, or if you're using a coin, if they flip a head instead of a tails, then the first 2 people in line start the electrical current, which is actually just squeezing the hand of the person next to you. So they squeeze them, that person squeezes the person next to them, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the hand, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then the last person that feels the squeeze, if they are the last person in line, they grab that cup of water and they throw it in the face of the person across from them, thus giving their team a point. One little player hack on this is make sure you do a practice squeeze with your students before, because inevitably they'll all of a sudden, like, the current hasn't started. The leader didn't squeeze the hand, a head hadn't been flipped on a coin, and all of a sudden someone's throwing water and you're like, what are you doing? Oh, you squeezed my hand. It's like, no, do you know what a squeeze feels like? So I tell them, like, let's do a practice squeeze. You've been squozed and now you know what it feels like. And then once you feel a squeeze, then you squeeze your other hand with the person and then they'll squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And you can actually watch it moving down the line. They can't because their heads are down and their eyes are closed, but you can watch the squeeze go boom, 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 boom. So you can sort of tell if they're cheating or not. So once that last person has thrown the water in the face of the person across from them, then those last 2 people now go to the front of the line and you move down. So yeah, you can play until everyone's had a turn. If you have a smaller group, you can recycle it. It's fun on a hot day. And it's a very, very easy game to play.
Depending on how hot it is probably how much water you put in that cup too. I'm a big fan of just the leader squeezing the hands to start, because I always feel like with the coin flip, someone like doesn't know heads from tails, or you know, or some people will do like the dice, like if we roll a 6, then you do it
forever.
And people just like see a 5 and they'll squeeze. Like I feel like the easiest way to do it
is have
just
a
have
leader
the leader
squeeze
to start the whole thing.
And then maybe that's good too, because they actually feel this is a squeeze, guys. Right. Replicate this, because they like, if the person just moves their hand slightly, I've been squozed, right? And they have not. Okay, so number 5 is extreme rock, paper, scissors. I love this game. So basically you need a bunch of hula hoops. The number you need is up to you of how far you want this course to go. So I usually set up something like, I'd guess 10 to 12 hula hoops. And I put them all touching each other, but making almost like a path, like not a straight line, but they kind of like snake, like back and forth, kind
just
of
laid
like
out on the ground, like
laid out on the ground, but like definitely in a path. So you have to go from this one to this one to this one. You divide your group into 2 teams, and one group lines up at one end of the path, ready to jump into that first hula hoop. And then the other team lines up at the other end. So when you say 3, 2, 1, go, they start going down the path. Now,
hopping.
They have to hop with both feet together in the hula hoop. So they're hopping as fast as they can, trying to cover as much ground as possible. Well, they inevitably will meet
at an impasse. And when that happens, when they're face to face, they do a rock, paper, scissors off. So rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Also have them practice that because some people go on rock, paper, scissors. Right. Some people go on rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay. We do shoot.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
The correct way.
Right. And whoever wins that gets to keep hopping. They pick up from where they left off, and the loser leaves the path and goes to the end of their line. While the first person in line of the loser side starts hopping because they're trying to cover as much ground before that person gains ground. Then if they meet again at that impasse, rock, paper, scissors, shoot till there's a winner. And then they keep hopping, whatever. So say that one person had won the first round and they keep hopping. And then that loser side, they send their next person and they're going. If the winner from the previous round loses, they go all the way back to the end of their line and all that ground was covered for nothing. So you watch kids get super close to the end, like they're about to jump in the last hoop and that person jumps in and then they lose the whole thing. And it just keeps going. You basically score it like however many people like got a home run, like how many people did you get through the whole thing? Because it doesn't end when you get a person to the finish line. They just go to the end of their line and we keep going and you just keep score of how many people pass through to the final hoop. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's really fun. It's pretty fast paced. One thing to make sure is that you demonstrate the hop for them, because if they just start running, they cover way too much ground.
Students need a lot of help.
They do. They need a lot of help because they'll just start running through the hoops.
Right.
And
can't follow instructions, find ways to cheat.
They cover way too much ground way too fast. The hop slows them down and you watch them hop and it's like so funny. And then another thing, just as the person leading the game, you're going to have to probably straighten the hoops many times throughout the games because they trip on them and kick them and whatever. So that is one of my favorite games, Extreme Rock, Paper, Scissors. Again, kind of like the ball pit balls, a set of hula hoops is a really great thing to just have in your game closet because you never know when you're going to need those.
And we'll link, if there's any products or things that you need to buy, we'll link them in the description below. But as far as hula hoops go, I don't know if Dollar Tree carries those.
I've never seen them.
Five Below, if you have that store, I just saw them there. They're only $2.
What?
Yeah, $2 for a hula hoop.
Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't know you were in need of hula.
I always need hula hoops, Trev.
Yeah, a lot of them. They had a lot of them, and they were $2.
Pool noodles. I always need
those too.
Hula hoops. I always need dodgeballs. Yeah, and I'm missing all my dodgeballs. So if anyone knows where they went, please let me know because we went to play Gaga Ball this weekend. Couldn't find them.
Nice.
None of them. Anyways. All right. Number 6. Silent speedball. Okay. Again, very low prep, very easy to set up. Everyone just has to sit in a circle of chairs, or they can, if you don't have chairs, they can stand in a circle. It's totally fine. Basically, they just need to be in a circle. And then you start with a ball. It should be a smallish ball. I think like one of those, like, how big is this?
Nerf?
Like a Nerf-ish ball.
Okay.
And basically you throw it quickly from one person to another and you get eliminated if you talk. So you say 3, 2, 1. After I say that, nobody can say a word. If you say a word or make a noise, like, oh, you get eliminated. And that's very hard for students. It's kind of nice. And if you drop the ball, you get eliminated. If you do a horrible pass, you get eliminated because then you could see people just sabotaging each other, like pelting people. So that is like up to you and your discretion as the ref to say that was an impossible catch. No, you're out. So if it's a bad throw, if you talk or if you drop it. Also, since it's called silent speedball, you cannot hold the ball for more than 2 seconds. So it's like you have it 1, 2, pass, 1, 2, pass, 1. So if they're just holding like, whoa, where should I miss it to? They're out. So if you have the group standing, you can just have that person sit down. If they're out, that's a really easy way to tell who's eliminated.
If they're sitting in chairs, then obviously they have to take their chair out and the circle gets smaller. I kind of like the standing one and the person sits down because then the circle always remains the same size. I feel like when you do the chair thing and you have to eliminate it, this circle just keeps getting teeny tiny and the time to adjust and take it out and all of that, where it's so quick to just have someone sit down and it's very obvious they're out.
Can they like fire it at someone pretty hard, or is the goal like you're supposed to make it so that they theoretically could catch it?
Yeah, like it's not like you're playing like
Dodgeball.
Yeah. You throw it quickly, and as long as it's a decent pass, it's not like you throw it like super high or like super fast. You just throw it quickly from one person to another, but you're not trying to sabotage the catch.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get rid of it. You're trying not to drop it, and you can't talk.
Okay.
So that's more of the goal than sabotaging other people. And pretty quickly, if you are eliminating people that do like prison throws, then I feel like they'll stop because they don't want to get out. Okay. Okay, and this is our last one.
I don't even know what that means. Go
like the way they do it in prison, chef. Because you think they follow the rules in there? No. I don't know. I've never been. Number 7.
If you've been to prison, comment in the section below.
How do they play Silent Speed while in prison? If you know the answer to that, tell us.
All right, number 7.
I've never been. 7. Okay, this one used to be a staple for me when my youth group was small, and it was so easy and fun. It was called ball and chain. So pretty much I would cut ribbons, just like the regular like gift wrap ribbon.
Oh, okay.
About this big. How big is this? 2 feet?
2 feet.
About 2 feet long. You can make it smaller to make the game harder. The longer, like the game changes based on how long the ribbon is, which is kind of funny. So yeah, about 18 inches, 2 feet, something like that. You give every student a ribbon, every student a balloon. They blow up their balloon and tie it. And then they tie one end of the ribbon to the balloon and one end of the ribbon to their ankle. Thus, it is now a ball and chain. So when you say 3, 2, 1, go, the point is you have to stomp on someone else's balloon, like you're trying to eliminate everyone else while keeping your balloon intact. So you see them like lifting like their leg up and they're like trying to keep it in the air. If the ribbon is short, they're able to keep it in the air. But if the ribbon is long, they have to really whip their foot around to keep it airborne, and it's really hard. So like when you're concentrating on trying to pop someone else's balloon, you got to watch your back because someone's probably trying to pop yours. Put on some fun music and it ends up being a really easy, really fun game. Another tip, junior hires do not know how to tie their own balloons
or their shoes.
So I tell them, your mouth was just on that and it has spit all over it.
Ew.
So I'm not tying it for you. So ask a friend or YouTube it, but I cannot touch that. I have a thing about spit. Like
I think everybody does. And if they don't, they should.
It's so gross. Or if you're going to be a really nice youth pastor and tie it for them, just keep some hand sanitizer nearby.
Yeah, you could also do it ahead of time just so that it's your spit that you're tying.
That's true. Yeah. If you have a smaller youth group, go for it. Yep. Be nice.
All right, that's 7. Hope you guys get a lot of use out of those. We are now going to do the Fabulous 4 trivia game. Yes. Yay. But just a reminder, if you wanted those in PDF form, just the instructions of all those games, email us at ministrycoachpodcast@gmail.com and we'll get those sent over to you so you'll always have them at your disposal. Otherwise, you can just come back and watch this video and rewatch it. We won't be opposed to that either because it's more views for us. So anyways.
All right. This is Friends Trivia.
It's time for some fun. Let's play the Fabulous 4 trivia game. Yay.
Okay. That'll be for you. You're the Friends.
I know. I love Friends, but you watch it a lot too. So I thought you might know some of these. I try not to make it overly hard because I know you're not an expert.
I'm not.
You're a novice. Okay. Ross had a pet monkey. What was its name?
Marcel.
Very good.
That's 1.
Ding, 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 ding. Number 2. What did Ross dress up as to teach Ben about Christmas and Hanukkah?
An armadillo.
Yes.
But I'm trying to think of the name of it. The
holiday armadillo.
Okay, 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
I'm 2 for 2, man.
All right, number 3. What job did Rachel's fiance Barry do?
He was a dentist.
Ooh, very close. He was actually
Orthodontist.
but will we accept?
I think so.
Let me see. They said yes. All right.
Phone said yes.
He was an orthodontist. All right. And Phoebe had a twin. What was that twin's name?
These are pretty easy. Ursula.
Wow, you got them
4
all.
for 4. 3.5 out of 4.
Okay, then let me ask you a bonus number 5.
Okay.
Because this is the one I was going to put in. I'm like, maybe this is too hard for my novice Jeff. Rachel spent $1,000 to buy an exotic pet she had wanted since she was a little girl. What was that pet?
I do not know. I'm going to say ferret.
Ooh, ouch.
Or a minx.
Minx. Interesting. No, it was a hairless Sphinx cat.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. And
That was
she
close.
brought
Not
it
really.
in on that red velvet pillow. And
I don't remember that.
and
at
Joey
all.
kept saying, "It's not a cat.
It's not a cat.
It's not a cat."
They look
It
more
was
like
so fun.
snakes.
Yeah.
We're going to do a community comment of the day, and then we will be all wrapped up. So this comes from Jaredable Productions, who says, I'm so exceptionally disappointed in the fact that you have less than 10,000 subscribers. You guys are absolutely incredible, and you deserve 1 million likes, views, subscribers, etc. But at the same time, I kind of like that you aren't super mainstream, because now I feel like I have my own special hidden gem of knowledge and interesting videos to binge watch. Love you guys and the content. Keep them coming.
Aw.
Well, I'm assuming
We are
it's
your
Jared.
hidden gem.
Thank you. Yeah. Hey, we're getting closer to 10,000, so I don't know if at that point we're considered mainstream or not.
Is that the threshold?
I don't
didn't
know.
know. I don't know what
that's a milestone. Maybe we'll do some kind of celebration when we hit 10,000. Maybe
We'll
you
eat
guys can
cake
make
on
it
the
happen.
air.
On the air. You're as bad as I am.
Are we on the air?
So dumb. Yeah, well, maybe we'll do something. If you guys have any ideas for maybe what we should do to all celebrate the fact that we hit 10,000 subscribers, coming up real soon, hopefully pretty soon, then maybe you guys can leave a comment in the comment section below and see this is what you guys should do. Maybe a giveaway. I don't know. That could be cool.
Oh.
A live giveaway.
Maybe we'll take live calls. Hello, you're on the
You're
air.
on the air.
What's your question?
Hey, thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and
we'll
we'll
see you next time.
Whether it's games, resources, or everything in between. What does that even mean?
Today we're talking about 7 games specifically for smaller youth groups. I don't know. Sounds weird. I have a
What's a pool ball? Oh, billiards. I got it.
Okay.
Make sure you do something. I don't know. What do you do over there? If you're